If you want to truly destroy your competition and achieve the work that you want done and to conquer those goals, you have to align 100% of your life to your purpose. A superior man aligns 100% of his life in all aspects towards his purpose. I will read you a quote from The Way of the Superior Man, and this is what it says. A man must be prepared to give 100% to his purpose, fulfill his karma or dissolve it, and then let go of that specific form of living. He must be capable of not knowing what to do with his life, entering a period of unknowingness and waiting for a vision or a new form of purpose to emerge. This cycle of strong specific action followed by periods of not knowing what the hell is going on are natural for a man who is shedding layers of his karma in his relaxation into the truth. When aligning my life towards my purpose and towards conquering my goals, I've had to start with maybe subtle things. Just cutting out a little few habits or drastically changing my schedules and the things I spend my time doing. What got me most of my results was finally setting a period of time to accomplish all my work. It was usually at the beginning of the day I would get all of my work that I enjoyed doing done. Right before I had to go to school, I would have a 90-minute block of deep work that I would do. And that's the same case for you, is maybe the work that you really need to get done is school, YouTube, starting a business, all types of things. And the first thing that I wanted to give you that can really help to get your work done, the work that is aligned towards your goals and your purpose. For you, maybe it's making YouTube videos, and that's what you want to spend your time doing. So I have a rule for you. It's called the 80-20 rule. If you can find the 20% of the work that gets 80% of the rewards, you don't have to waste your time trying to do everything. It states, if you can find that 20%, for example, YouTube, what is 20% of the work that gets 80% of the rewards? It would be recording videos and writing scripts. So that's your 20%. You don't have to focus on YouTube banners, profile pics, thumbnails, crazy editing, getting your platform out there. It's none of that. It's just that 20% that gets the 80% of the rewards. For that great example, it's YouTube. Another one is working out. How can you get 80% of the rewards of working out with 20% of the work? It would be, one, going to the gym, eating right, and then resting right. That's probably the three most simple things about the gym. And if you do those three things right, you're going to end up getting great results in the gym. Of course, it gets more complex, and we'll touch about how you can get the last 20% of that rewards by adding more into it. But the 80-20 rule is a great standard for when you're starting off, and it's really what you stick to. Once you're over this beginning hill, you can start really focusing on more fine-tuned things. And to give 100% towards your work or purpose or goal, whatever I call it in this video, you must align a lot of your life, all of your life, in a period of deep focus. It will be absurd ways of doing it. It will be uncomfortable. But when you align all of your life towards your work in this deep period, this monk mode-like period of work, you will get so much done. Now, I want to give you some ways that I've been able to focus on my work, aligning all aspects of my life towards the work that I want to do, the purpose I feel like I have. I've changed my sleep schedule so I can wake up really early. For me, it's 5 in the morning. So that's the only time where I can get my work done uninterrupted. About a 90-minute block of deep work right before I have to worry about all the responsibilities of a life and everything else that's going on. If I were to change the time that I did my most focused and what I would call important work of my day, if I did it midday or at night, I'd run into distractions. I'm up before majority of my whole family is up. So if I were to do it any later in the day, I would have family walking around, stomping upstairs, dogs barking. They're asking me to go do stuff. I have to help my mom out. How can I get work done if that's going on? For you, it might be at night where you can be focused. Everyone's asleep, everyone's quiet, and you can just type away, get your school done, start your business, YouTube, whatever it may be. That's when it works best for you. Personally, I've never liked staying up late. I love the feeling of that fresh feeling of being awake in the morning after a cold shower, and you can just purely focus. Another step I have is diet. I think it's a very important part of work. And you might not believe it. You just think, well, I just eat when I'm hungry. But I don't eat till noon or maybe even later after I get a workout in. But if I were to do my deep work, it's 5, 6 in the morning and I'm typing away. And I thought to myself, I want to go upstairs and have some breakfast. A carb-filled, sugary cereal with milk, something like that. Something that will really get the brain slow. What you eat really takes effect on your mental focus and clarity. You could, this is something you could do, is you don't eat all day and all of a sudden you start eating some oats or some type of carb pasta maybe. And just notice how that affects your brain and how mentally slow you get. And I'm the type of guy, if I eat, I have to eat till I'm stuffed, or I'm constantly eating throughout the day. So now imagine if I'm doing my deep work downstairs and I have like a little bite of something because it catches my eye in the kitchen. I'm going to be thinking about, oh, I need to keep eating. So how can I focus on the work that is so important to me if my brain is constantly bouncing back and forth about food? So what I'd recommend to get your work done is to fast, intermediate fasting for at least the morning or whatever block you have. Maybe it's midday, kind of in between lunch and dinner, where you're kind of in that fasted mode and you can get some work done there too. But for me, it's the morning. Another very important part about getting into this period of focus towards the thing that you love, the work you do, is to cut out distractions. Maybe it's that friend group that you go around and play video games or smoke weed with. Maybe it's that job that you hate that, to be honest, you don't really need. You could still continue to live with your parents and survive off them for a little bit longer. But whatever you do to shed that layer of purpose or to get more fine-tuned towards your goals, is you have to leave that job appropriately. You have to shed that layer appropriately. You can't just leave that job like that. I mean, you could, but it's nice to put in your 2 weeks notice and to do your job and then leave appropriately so it doesn't bite you in the ass. Same with that friend group. You could, again, just ghost them. You could. But maybe the appropriate thing that would make yourself rest easy and not seem like a dick would to be send them a message. To slowly step back in a nice manner where you're not hanging out with them anymore. So send them that message, goodbye. That sounds kind of depressing, but send them like, hey, I'm glad that we've been playing video games all the time, but I need to focus on school and work. I can't hang out with you guys. And they'll be all right about that, but they will. The sad part from my experience of it is when you don't have that one topic to keep you friends. It could be video games, it could be weed, it could be drugs, whatever. They're not really your friends. Everyone wants to be the friend with the guy who has all the drugs or has all this cool shit. But they're not really friends with you without that substance. Without that video game, they're just assholes in your life that you don't even like. And they'll probably soon just forget about you, which kind of sucks, but hey, you're moving on. You're shedding that layer that you used to have to move on into your self-improvement, so you don't need them in your life. You can't take them with you. If they ask if you want to go smoke weed with you, you just say, no, I'm busy. I can't. I don't want to. It's slowly taking the step back to build space where the point, you see it in a lot of friendships. There's get this space, and eventually you just go off two different ways. It's very normal and natural. So just evaluate your friends and what they have and what they add to your life. But for right now, those toxic friends, those jobs that you hate, cut them out and focus. For the last topic, this kind of aligns with the previous one, but a death by 1,000 cuts. Right now, even though you might not realize it, you are focusing on too many things, 1,000 too many things. It's cutting you apart. It's cutting your attention up, and you'll make no real progress. You can only focus on 3 to 5 things in life from my experience. I'll give you an example. Gym, school, the work you do that's aligned to your purpose, and then family. And then that's about it. That's what I can think about. That's what I'm focusing right now. I'm focusing on the gym, the school I have to do, the work I love to do, and my family time, and then maybe reading books. I have a few other obligations that I have to do, which cut my focus in half. But if I were to throw a relationship in there, like a girlfriend, that would be so straining, and I wouldn't be able to focus on the few things that really matter. Just like the beginning of your self-improvement journey, when you realized you had to add all these focuses, you had to start focusing on the gym, your mental health, meditation, journaling, all this stuff you got to add into your life. But you also had to cut out all the bad habits too. You had to cut out the drugs, the video games, the staying up late, the degenerate friends, the junk food. I could go on. So this is where the real sacrifice is made, is subtracting more things from your life. You can subtract the little bad habits, but where the real focus comes is when you can sit down and do your work, and you know that you've subtracted your family time, your friends, your social obligations, your work. You've turned notifications off so you're never reminded of a message, so you can sit there and purely be in this flow state of just doing deep work. It really sucks, but when you're in this time period where you are dedicated to the work you do, you have to cut everything out, and that takes sacrifice. You will come back in 3 months and your friends will miss you. When they say, Max, do you want to play basketball tonight? Yeah, I'd fucking love to. But you guys are playing until like 12 at night. And I gotta wake up at 5 in the morning, and that doesn't align to my life. That doesn't add to my life. Once in a while I will spend all my time with my family and my friends, go downtown, take a girl out. But when I'm really dead focused on the work that I do, I have to cut it all out, and that sucks. But when you cut this stuff out, and that's the only things you focus on, if you go take a walk, you should be thinking about the work you do. You should be thinking how you are saving lives or whatever. Whatever deep in your heart is what you're trying to focus on for your work, for your purpose, for your business, YouTube, etc. You should be brainstorming, because there's a guy out there who's taken time away from everything in his life to just focus on maybe 3 things: his gym, his work, and whatever fucking else. So he's out there taking that walk, and he's constantly on his notepad writing down ideas for his business. He's in the shower, he's on the toilet, and all he can think about is work. Well, compared to you, you're there thinking about relationships. You're thinking, how can I text this girl? Can I get laid this week? Can you get laid this week? You're thinking about all this stuff. What I just previously said about girlfriends. If I was in a relationship, when I'm in this deep period of work, I don't have the mental strength to focus on all these important tasks, plus a relationship, which is going to be so straining. So realize what you can subtract out of your life and fine tune all things about your life in this deep period. This is not forever. Eventually you'll do 3, it's winter right now, so maybe you'll do like 3-4 months of deep hard work, hopefully, and you'll do so much work, you'll make so much progress. But then summer will come by and you can go back to partying. You can tone back on your work a little bit for a month or 2 and then attack it again. You can attack your work again. So it's, I don't like a balanced life. This is what works best for me. But realize, if you want to get real work done, you got to cut a lot of things out.